welcome to Undisputed. We are live from Los Angeles. I'm Jenny Taft here with Skip Bayless, Shannon Sharp. Good morning, you two.
Hi, Jenny. How are you?
Good. How are you?
How you doing, Jenny?
I'm doing great.
I said, how you doing, Jenny?
I'm doing
Your
great.
name is Jenny.
I'm doing great.
You
Okay,
know,
how are
he's
you,
good.
Skip?
Yeah. I'm happy because we get to talk about Tom Brady.
Yeah, that is a good day for
Oh,
Skip.
Man, you just love that.
It's a good week. It's a good 2 weeks.
I know.
You're right.
It just goes on and on. And you know what? We should just talk about him for another month or so after he wins another Super Bowl. What do you think?
Oh, you're going to
Yeah.
be so disappointed.
Yeah, okay.
And we got another one of your favorite topics here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which is?
Which is the Cowboys.
Oh, good.
But here's the thing, Skip. There might be some drama with your
How are
favorite
you,
team.
Shannon?
We're going to get to that later. And then, John Elway, are you listening to Shannon's take
Yep.
on instant replay?
Colin? Yep.
Oh, you
did not.
guys have something to share?
Counsel?
All right, either way, since it is a little bit more about Tom Brady, let's start with the Patriots. Get a load of these crazy numbers. Tom Brady and Bill Belichick are headed to their third straight Super Bowl. It will also mark their 9th trip together in the 18 years. But all of this might not have happened if the reports are true that Bill Belichick wanted Jimmy Garoppolo to be the starter for the Patriots over a year ago instead of Brady. Jimmy G was ultimately traded to the Niners, and Brady is, he's still Brady. So, Shannon, let's think about this. What would have happened to the Patriots if Belichick got his way and Jimmy G was the starting quarterback?
I believe they'd be in the exact same place. Because when you go to New England, you don't play for stats, you play to a standard. And the standard is to get to and win Super Bowls. If you look at the success that Tom Brady's had in the playoff, 90 snap, 90 drop back passes, no sacks, 3 hits. They're running the football like they haven't run the football all year. So you're telling me how many of the top quarterbacks could not do what Tom Brady's doing? I believe Jimmy Garoppolo, given the same sort of circumstances, they're going to run the football like they're running it. They're going to protect him like they're protecting Tom Brady. I believe they would be in the exact same spot. The AFC East is not going to get better if Jimmy Garoppolo, so all of a sudden the Jets are going to get better. All of a sudden the Dolphins are going to get better. Buffalo's going to get better because that's what he's playing against. Probably lose to maybe the same games they lost. Who knows? Tom Brady, Skip, let's be real. These 2 games, Tom Brady didn't have a whole lot of these games in the regular season. I think you could attest to that. You feel comfortable saying that, Skip Bayless?
I thought he did at Miami. I thought that was great.
Oh, okay, that's 1 game. Skip.
Yeah.
So did he have a lot of, even in Miami, did he play like this? Because remember, he got hit in Miami. So.
Let's see, he outgunned Mahomes, he outgunned Aaron Rodgers, he beat the Bears at Chicago. I don't know. Go ahead.
All I'm saying, and even in that, did he put up these type numbers?
No, he saves the best for last, as usual. But
that's all I'm saying is that guys may, and plus, Sonny Michel, is he not running the football? Is James White not catching the football? Julian Edelman is doing Julian Edelman type things.
Finally.
Chris Hogan is, It's funny that you say finally, considering that Julian Edelman has the most playoff catches behind Jerry Rice in the Super Bowl era.
Well, he wasn't doing this all year, but go ahead.
Oh, and neither was Tom Brady, which would make my point for me. Thank you. But again, before I was so rudely, I can't believe, Skip Bayless, you're like interrupting me.
I didn't interrupt. I corrected.
No, I don't need
There's a big difference.
I don't need correction. I believe if Jimmy Garoppolo had been the Patriots starting quarterback, given that everybody on that roster play to a standard, and the standard is to get to and to win a Super Bowl, I believe they would have been in the exact same spot. That's me. I happen to know a little something about football, Skip Bayless. So, because if you look at Tom Brady's numbers are exactly the numbers that a guy put up in Minnesota. Kirk first Cousins.
Really?
Tom Brady had the exact same number.
Wait, one guy was in the playoffs, one guy didn't make the playoffs. But go ahead.
Therein lies. Thank you.
Yeah.
So you making my point for me. I believe that if Jimmy Garoppolo is in this system, Coach Belichick is his head coach, Josh McDaniels is doing what he's doing, calling up all the right plays at all the right times, I believe they're in the exact same spot, which is the Super Bowl.
And I thought on Monday you had seen the light. I thought I sat right here on Monday morning on Undisputed, and I thought I heard a mea culpa from Shannon Sharp, the Hall of Fame tight end.
Yeah.
I thought he said, I give up, I give in. He's the greatest. he's all that you've been saying he is, right?
Yeah.
So how could you then flip on that opinion and say they'd be exactly the same with a kid at quarterback, the hardest position to play in all of sports? And you're saying Jimmy G would have stepped right in and done exactly what the greatest quarterback in history has done this year? Mm-hmm. You think Jimmy G would have beaten the Chargers and he would have beaten the Chiefs in Kansas City?
Yes.
That is insanely wrong. And you know in your heart of hearts you're just fighting back now, and I respect that.
No, I'm not fighting back, Skip, but here's the thing, the caveat, and I prefaced it by saying, are you telling me Jimmy Garoppolo is not going to get touched? Are you telling me that Sonny Michel is going to run the exact same way?
I'm going to explain all of the above. If Bill Belichick had gotten his way and Jimmy Garoppolo had been starter for the Patriots from day one this football season, I seriously doubt they would have made the playoffs unless by default, just because it is the AFC least. And by default, I would have to give them 9-7 with Jimmy G, but I don't think they could have gone 9-7 because I'm pretty sure Jimmy G would have lost to Patrick Mahomes in Foxborough in Week 6 on that Sunday night when Patrick Mahomes put up 31 second-half points.
Put up 31 again.
Yeah.
And lost.
24 in the fourth quarter, but he lost to Tom Brady. There is no way Jimmy G could have done what Brady did with that defense, in spite of that defense, and with this receiver core that obviously lost Josh Gordon after they had him for 11 games, and they have no wideout who can consistently separate, and he's throwing to 32-year-old Julian Edelman and what's left of Rob Gronkowski. There is no way Jimmy G could have done any of that. And once they had lost a couple of games, what the biggest point you're missing is Tom Brady has proven over 19 years to be the greatest leader in the history of sports. He runs that locker room for Coach Belichick. He is a coach's dream because he sets the ultimate working example day after day after day after day. He's in early, he stays late. Nobody studies any harder. I'm not saying he studies the hardest, but nobody, I think, studies any harder than Tom Brady. He sets a tone for Belichick that resonates through that locker room, that you do exactly what that coach says. Do I think Tom Brady believes in everything? No, he doesn't. But he knows that the only way it's going to work, function as a unit, is we do what he says, no matter whether we believe in it or not. We do it.
Are you saying that Jimmy would say we're going to do opposite of what he says?
He has never shown me remotely the leadership intangibles that this guy has.
So
do you understand how the locker room would start to teeter? The culture would be shell-shocked without Tom Brady in the middle of it. You know this.
Okay, so when Tom Brady was the backup in 2000, did he show this? You never know what a person's going to be until you put him in the mix.
From watching San Francisco this year, I just didn't see the body language.
But what did Coach Belichick see? Coach Belichick saw something.
He saw an opening that he could gain all the credit. He could go and just say, I've got my guy, I've got my 5 Super Bowls, and I have an opportunity to show the world I can do it without Tom Brady.
I'm going to get me 5 more with Jimmy.
And again, I think Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be long-term a very good quarterback.
Okay.
We are talking about the greatest ever, not only as the greatest clutch performer, but the greatest leader ever. And the combination of that at the hardest position to play is virtually unbeatable. And I'm shocked you're saying this after you watched 2 all-time clinics performed by Tom Brady against your Super Bowl pick, the Chargers, and then against your runaway MVP, the kid quarterback that you love the most, Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City. There's only one way that the Patriots are going to steal that game, and they stole it. And the only way is for Tom Brady to control the football for 44 minutes and keep it away from Patrick Mahomes, who had it for only 21 minutes. And the only way you do that, as you well know, is you convert 13 of 19 third downs. Virtually impossible. But how does he do it? How did he do it? And by the way, let me keep this into this perspective, just so no one loses perspective. Remember, last year at the trade deadline, it was October 31st of 2017, according to ESPN, boom, Robert Kraft said no to Bill Belichick, and it must have been the first time because he controls all football decisions, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And he said, you will trade Jimmy Garoppolo, and you will go forward with Tom Brady as your quarterback next year. This is midway through the previous, the 2017 season. So what happened from that point forward? Tom Brady went on to win the MVP that year, right? Mm-hmm. Tom Brady went on in the AFC Championship game, albeit this one in Foxborough, down 20-10 going into the fourth quarter against Saxonville, the hottest defense in pro football. He proceeded in the fourth quarter to throw for 138 yards and 2 touchdowns with 12 stitches in the palm of his throwing hand. Big deal, no big deal? I don't know. I thought it was a pretty big deal. But he saved Belichick's bacon that day and got them to a Super Bowl. And then, despite Belichick benching Malcolm Butler and giving up 41 points in the Super Bowl, Tom Brady threw for an all-time playoff record 505 yards and almost pulled that game out. So then we fast forward into this year, and we say, what kept happening this year? This defense is not very good. It is leaky at best.
It's not worse than Kansas City's.
You know what? That's debatable to me.
It's not,
because it has no pass rush to speak of. It has had none all year.
But they sacked Mahomes 4 times.